Welcome to today's explainer. Normally, we look at finished research, data, or articles, right? Well, today, we are doing something completely different and honestly, incredibly fascinating. We're going behind the curtain to analyze the raw, structural blueprint for a highly engaging YouTube script. We aren't looking at a finished product today, we are looking at the source code, the exact set of instructions used to engineer a viral piece of financial education. If you've ever found yourself falling down a rabbit hole of money-making tutorials online, you're definitely going to want to pay close attention to the architectural framework we're about to unpack. Okay, let's dive straight into our agenda for today. First, we'll break down the video blueprint itself. Then, we'll look at structuring the hook, followed by the core finance content, visuals and engagement, and we'll wrap up with the final call to action. All right, kicking things off with Section 1, the video blueprint. Our source material actually starts with a very specific command. It says, act as a professional finance educator and YouTube scriptwriter. Now, this isn't just a casual suggestion, it's a very specific dual persona that has to be perfectly balanced. Think about it. A professional finance educator needs to be totally authoritative, trustworthy, and knowledgeable. They have to simplify really complex economic concepts without sounding condescending. But simultaneously, they have to act as a YouTube scriptwriter. That means they can't just deliver a dry, boring university lecture. They literally have to understand pacing, audience retention, platform algorithms, and digital entertainment. It's this crazy marriage of deep expertise and modern attention harvesting. Next up, we see the strict time constraint demanded by this blueprint. The script has to be exactly 7 to 8 minutes long. So why that specific window? Trust me, it's not arbitrary at all. In the landscape of online education, this is widely considered the algorithmic sweet spot. It's long enough to provide genuine value, establish authority, and maybe even trigger those mid-roll advertisements, but it's short enough to respect your time, right? It maintains a high retention rate before mental fatigue sets in. Every single second of this script must absolutely justify its existence to fit inside this rigid box. And to make sure that 7 to 8 minute runtime is hit flawlessly, the blueprint provides the exact math, 1,200 to 1,500 words. So the crucial takeaway here is that content creation at this level is a calculated science. A professional speaker generally talks at a pace of about 150 words per minute. If you do the math, 150 words times 8 minutes is exactly 1,200 words, with a little buffer up to 1,500 for a slightly faster, more energetic delivery. What does this tell us? The script cannot afford any fluff whatsoever. Every single sentence has to propel the viewer forward. Moving right along to Section 2, structuring the hook. The source material mandates this exact 3-step progression for the beginning of the script. Step 1, a powerful opening hook. This is where you get about 3 to 5 seconds to aggressively grab attention, usually by stating a massive problem or promising some life-changing solution. But hey, you can't stay at that level of high intensity forever. So Step 2 forces a pivot to a beginner-friendly introduction. This is the on-ramp. It lowers the barrier to entry, reassures people that they don't need a Wall Street background to understand what's coming, and it builds trust. Only after all that psychological groundwork is laid do we finally arrive at Step 3, the actual delivery of those 10 investing tips. That brings us to Section 3, the core finance content. Here is the exact topic requested in our blueprint, 10 investing tips every beginner should know. Notice the framing on this. It relies heavily on that classic listicle format, the number 10, which sets super clear expectations. You know exactly how much content you're getting, which subconsciously encourages you to stick around until the countdown is completely finished. And again, it explicitly targets beginners. The total market of people who want to start investing but feel totally intimidated is massive. This topic isn't an accident. It is perfectly engineered for broad appeal and maximum searchability. Now, what's really interesting here is how the blueprint forces some real depth into what could otherwise just be a superficial list. The script can't just say, Tip 1, diversify your portfolio, and call it a day. Nope. It is strictly required to include 3 elements for every tip: practical examples, common investing mistakes, and actionable advice. This means the writer has to show, not just tell. They have to highlight those pain points, the common mistakes, to create emotional resonance, and then immediately hand over actionable steps you can take today. This transforms a totally passive viewing experience into an active, empowering one. It's literally the difference between reading a textbook and getting one-on-one coaching from a mentor. Next up is Section 4, visuals and engagement. Take a look at the dual roles the blueprint demands here. On the left side, we have the audio and narrative. The script has to be 100% original, incredibly SEO-friendly so people can actually find it, and easy to understand. But simultaneously, over on the right, the writer has to plan out the visuals and engagement. They're actually required to provide B-roll ideas and visual suggestions right there in the text. Why? Because a 1,500-word monologue of just a talking head will absolutely put people to sleep. the script has to choreograph these visual pattern interrupts, things like charts, stock footage, text popping up on screen, just to keep your brain stimulated while the audio delivers the education. And this perfectly illustrates one of the most powerful tools in that engagement arsenal, curiosity hooks. The blueprint specifically demands them. But what exactly are they? Well, curiosity hooks are narrative devices strategically placed throughout the script to maintain your attention. It's basically the art of opening a loop in your mind that they don't immediately close. It's like saying, index funds are great, but there's one hidden fee that could cost you thousands over a decade, which we're going to uncover in tip number 7. You see what they did there? They just engineered a reason for you not to click away. It is calculated suspense applied directly to financial education. Which leads us to our final part, Section 5, the final call. The script obviously can't just trail off into nothing. It requires a strong conclusion that neatly summarizes all the value that was just delivered. But that conclusion has to transition seamlessly into the ultimate algorithmic necessity, the call to action, or CTA. The blueprint explicitly lists it out: like, comment, share, and subscribe. It is built right into the genetic code of the script to ask you to feed the platform's algorithm. Because let's be real, no matter how amazing the financial education is, if the script doesn't convert passive viewers into active subscribers and commenters, that content just won't survive in today's digital ecosystem.
Finally, overarching this entire production is a massive legal and quality constraint. The source blueprint strictly demands the output be 100% original and completely copyright-free. Now, this isn't just about having academic integrity, it's about pure platform survival. If a script uses plagiarized text or suggests copyright-infringing visuals, the final product is going to be demonetized, penalized, or just wiped from the platform entirely. The blueprint makes absolutely sure that the foundation is clean, safe, and ready to be monetized from day one.
All of this leaves us with a really fascinating perspective to ponder. The next time you click on one of those top 10 tips tutorials, I challenge you to look past the presenter and look for the framework we've unpacked today. Try to spot those curiosity hooks, the pacing tricks, the visual pattern interrupts. So I'll leave you with this question. When you consume digital education, are you just passively learning about money, or are you navigating a meticulously engineered psychological blueprint designed for maximum retention? Understanding this structure doesn't just make you a better creator, it makes you a much smarter consumer of information. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep questioning the architecture of the media you consume.